Well, I know how this is gonna start. Drama always happens, and it continues to a point where nobody ever learns a goddamn thing. And this most likely comes from the art community side, as far as I am concerned. Even if there's some people that has learned from certain mistakes they made before, there's still some others that can't seem to get it through their thick skulls. And there's no better person doing that job than the one, the only, Mushroom Girl. So why this individual is the question? Well, there's a good answer for that. You see, in regards to backlash that was thrown towards her and her channel, we thought that for 5 to 7 months, she actually did learn a few things and was changing her ways. Needless to say, of course, that some of the video editing she has is still the same thing, but then until recent, oh boy, she's at it again. And oh shit, this has sounded like the most dumbest argument that I'm ever gonna cover. And some people may come out of the way and say I'm over exaggerating. Well, I shit you not, that's at least 1/4 of what I'm doing. But as being the most famous quote for not only movies but also some certain video games, maybe even some songs, let's get this party started.
Hello, 'tis I know I haven't been saying my catchphrase often, but you'll see why I specifically decided to say it in this video a bit later. Guys, after 7 months, I relapsed. My edgy boy relapse. Well, I guess 5 months if you include Sensitive Society, but for context, there's a group of critics that, well, criticize me, that I call edgy boys.
Well, for me to bring up some certain criticism, you're not gonna find edginess in regards to me, like, at all, as far as I am concerned. I mean, yeah, sure, I may say some dumb shit, but I'm not edgy enough to say even further dumb shit. And this may just be me, but I have a hunch saying that you haven't avoided any of the videos in regards to you. You may have done that from the editing part, but I feel like you haven't done that for the comments, have you?
An edgy boy is basically someone, usually a boy, who tries really hard to be edgy and cool by saying words mommy doesn't let them say.
I could actually say those words, as long as I'm not saying it in front of my parents.
They're often leafy clones, they're usually kids or teens, but they don't have to be. And the criticisms of me are usually that I'm sensitive, I have a speech impediment, my content's long.
I'm not gonna lie with the sensitive part, you legitimately are sensitive if you're gonna keep responding to videos that are in regards to people exposing you, criticizing you, yada yada yada. And to be honest, whether the video is nothing but complete bullshit or not even bullshit, you don't always have to respond to every single video in regards to you. But no, much like how an SJW gets all trigger happy in regards to politics, you get trigger happy in regards to making a response video every so often. That even happened a few times before you even made this video, as a matter of fact. Before we continue on, I just need to say this. Something tells me that Mushroom Girl has not completely learned her mistakes from all the criticisms she's been provided previously. Not only that, but also the backlash at the same time. And needless to say, I can't be the only one that's thinking of this. At some point in the future soon, she's gonna continue to respond to videos that are in regards to her, not only from NomisYalf, but from every single other YouTuber as well. And needless to say, if there are videos that are just complete bullshit in regards to exposure, then they're just completely pointless and a waste of time. Sometimes serving as traps for another YouTuber that they try exposing to make a video about this. Normally, if you're a YouTuber that happens to do commentary, it's best to avoid doing these type of videos. However, Mushroom Girl happens to have a brain of a goddamn monkey that she happens to continue getting herself into this kind of mess over and over again. And let me be real with you, this isn't the first time Mushroom Girl has done this before.
It's the same bullshit every single time. I told myself I wouldn't cover people like this again because of how genuinely repetitive the claims are.
Then the big question should be is why did you make this video if you didn't want to cover YouTubers like this? Like, be real with me. Give me a good reason as to why you decided to make a video like this once again, because the only thing I can think of is you're still sensitive about some shit like this.
But I've grown a lot since 7 months, and I think that now that I've not only matured, but I also script my content, it would be good to go through and cover one of these guys again for the sake of the old times.
This part sounds like it's a misconception. I feel like that Mushroom Girl has not matured enough as far as I am concerned. Even if she did say it was like 5 or 7 months ago, I still hardly doubt it. She did say she does script her content, which is okay, whatever, you do that. Everyone has their own way of making content in regards to commentary. But the thing you have to understand is that you're missing out some of the pieces of criticism that has been thrown out to you inside of YouTube. I will get to that as this video progresses, so that way you'll get a better understanding. So full context that I have to say in regards to this recent video that Mushroom Girl made, she's been talking about a YouTuber known as NomisYalf. Now, I don't really know very much about this YouTuber. I really don't know NomisYalf at all, and I don't really like him. I don't hate him, I don't like him either. We're both on the neutral setting, and I think it's best preferred to stay like that until there's something that has happened between the both of us. Until then, we're in the neutral setting. Although I disagree on what mostly Mushroom Girl says, there is some other points that NomisYalf had pointed out that I sort of disagree as well. We're just gonna go ahead and skip a little bit ahead and move on to get to the big scoop.
For a commentary channel, it seems I'm not doing one thing that all commentary channels have done. I haven't pissed off the art community enough. And you know what that means.
Now, this is in my perspective alone. I don't really like pissing off any community. That is, unless they want to start pissing me off, then that's when I go straight asshole towards them. But surely enough, the alternative for me in order to trigger them would be to, troll them. That's pretty much what could happen.
I love how his whole brand is that he's actually murdering the people he covers, but his points are so unbelievably mid. Like, come on, man. Be original with your points and say something of substance, and maybe then you'll have the title of emo serial killer who gets all the Tumblr girls.
And what, you think you have better points than him? At a massive margin from the previous dramas you've been involved inside of, you happen to have very shitty points in regards to whatever it was being talked about. Like, for instance, the goat cattle drama. It's not only that her points are the problem, the other problem is her dumbass opinions that she brings up. Because at one certain degree to another, when she gives out an opinion, it turns out to be more of rambling as time goes by for each and every single video she posts out. And the only thing I can conclude, much like how anyone else can conclude on these opinions, nobody understands what the fuck you're talking about. If there's one thing I have to say in regards to you rambling on and on certain opinions that don't pertain to the video itself, the only thing I have to say is you sound like a pandering idiot that's trying to go through politics. And to support at the same time, you do the stupid shit like that. And that's avoidable. You just don't want to avoid it. The only thing I have in regards to MG having the temerity to defecate upon this video that NomisYalf has is the simple fact that she thinks she's in the right as of today. Well, guess what? I still think you're not in the right. Because whatever you did in the past in regards to drama and what other stupid shit you've been involved in is still in the history. And there is some YouTube videos that were re-uploaded in regards to the drama you were involved in. Whether it was you who was involved in the drama, or whether it was someone else who has been brought up by your stupid bullshit. So yeah, no, you're not innocent.
Hello everyone, your local serial killer here, and today I'm going to talk about not only the dumbest, but probably the most annoying art commentary channel, something that everyone hates. Not to mention, in her past, she has been quite manipulative, especially on, when people make videos on them.
What he tries to pass off as manipulation later is fucking stupid. You'll see.
I've at least have one good way to prove that you have gone through manipulation once before, MG. But once we get into that area, I'll go ahead and show you it, so that way you get a better understanding. And I'll explain it at the same time because some people's brains can't seem to comprehend as to what I'm going with.
Oh, but it gets worse. She basically acts like she's got some form of relevancy.
Nomis, your channel was made in 2017 and you have 1.6k subs, My channel was made in 2020 and I have 3.24k subs. This video has been up for a day at the time of writing this script and has 147 views. My latest commentary video had 1.2k views in the first 24 hours.
Yeah, because you're pertaining to attract to an audience that are filled with gays and lesbians that care about stupid shit like this. But if you were to talk about something else, not very much people would actually watch it. Like, for example, if you were to talk about Russia going against an undeclared war with Ukraine, I'm just joking with you, don't talk about the Russian-Ukraine war. That is unless you're desperate. Commentary videos in regards to what is happening to something that is not in regards to gays or lesbians are as follows. Example number one would be a video game, whether it is one that is still going through development and what news is going to come out, or if the game is already out, but what updates are going to come out later on. That's in regards to the news. Number two would be talking about a movie, whether you are reviewing it or maybe even criticizing it, or both at the same time. And before you ask, no, you don't really have to be a movie critic if you don't want to. If it were to pertain to those areas and not about what the gays and lesbians find interesting, then you would get some subscribers to watch your videos. However, you won't attract a crowd that is in the number the size of a football stadium or the Super Bowl or whatever. And also, just to try to dismiss this argument by bringing in the subscribers amount, that could not be me. The wildest hunch I have is that whatever video corresponds to MG, she sees it and she talks about it, she always has to bring in the subscriber amount to actually get the other YouTuber that talks about her to cease and desist. Well, guess what? That ain't working for me. That same also applies for YouTube views.
Despite pretty much all of her videos are incredibly fucking boring.
You can still have relevancy and have boring content, but I guess that's besides the point.
I'll be honest with you, there is some pieces of content that I do really find boring one way or another. A slight bit of it will come from commentary, but even though that the commentary parts are really boring, it still serves as a form of information. Whether you're doing this and playing a video game, or whether you're doing this and drawing art, it doesn't make too much of a difference. The only difference that will matter is the fact as to how the editing is put for each and every single video in regards to commentary, whether it's drama or not.
And if I had to pick one point that makes this video a video, a lot of her shit is incredibly fucking boring.
It's revealed later in the video that the reason he finds my content boring is that there's no gameplay. If you don't like art commentary, don't fucking watch art commentary.
I do have to digress this point away from Mushroom Girl, but I have to point it straight towards Nomis. Nomis, you have to understand that not everyone wants to do gaming for commentary all the time. Some people, like Mushroom Girl as an example, rather prefer to do animation, maybe even art for commentary. Like, I feel like this is the only thing you don't seem to understand, is that everyone is not gonna pertain to whatever commentary you like the most. And that's mostly being said on the decision they make for how they want to make their own commentary videos in general. But no, suddenly a brain tumor came out of nowhere and just says, force her to make a better type of commentary content. I mean, like, picture it like this. How would you like it if she were to tell you to make an art/animation commentary video? Would you do it? Probably at most cases not. So you would prefer to stick into gaming instead. And at this scenario, would Mushroom Girl do gaming videos for commentary? No, she doesn't want to. Let me be real, I feel like that there's a lot of people that don't seem to understand or still don't know or still can't seem to get the idea that the creator has their own choice as to how they want to make their videos in regards to YouTube. It's just clearly fucking stupid. But then again, I also have to say this in regards to Nomis. Mushroom Girl, your channel content, really, it is completely boring. I'll just say the least. It's boring that you 24/7 do art and animation in regards to your channel. I want to fucking go to sleep. At least going to sleep provides better entertainment than this shit.
And not to make it sound like I'm trying to bully them, but they have a lisp that really just bothers me personally. personally, and technically it's not just me that's bothered by it, because I've talked to a few people and just about everyone hate hearing your voice.
Okay, what exactly am I supposed to do about that? Do you want me to use text-to-speech? Because trust me, listening to an entire video of text-to-speech is much more annoying than listening to someone with a very slight lisp. If you dislike my voice, that's fine, but instead of complaining about it in a video, just don't watch my content. There is literally no reason to complain about this because this is not something I can even change. Speech therapy isn't something you can just go, walk in, and come out without a speech impediment. That's not how that works. It's therapy. It takes time. It takes energy.
Oh, trust me, people nowadays doing YouTube might have some lisps, even they don't want to admit it. I'm not a big fan of certain YouTubers, even if it were those that have lisps in regards to their speech. However, that type of speech impediment can actually be changed if you think about it, because you did mention therapy. If you did go to therapy, if you made time, and if you made energy to go all the way over to therapy for your speech impediment, that would make things more better as time goes by. I mean, shit, I went to therapy once before and I took 2 subjects, but since we're talking about speech, I might as well bring that up. Maybe through daycare, but through elementary and middle school, I used to go to therapy every single Tuesday possible, so that way I could be able to improve my speech as time goes by. That way I would not have to worry too much about having a lisp in regards to conversations. That was, of course, before I decided to start YouTube on my high school years. But either way, it's really helpful one way or another. The only thing that you need to do, though, is make a change as to how you think in regards to therapy. Stop making it seem like it's a waste of time and your energy to be going through all of that. Because comparing your lifestyle to mine, you're a fucking child. You have a lot of energy and a lot of time before you actually hit adulthood. Oh wait, yeah, I forgot. You're one lazy fucking bitch.
And I know for a fact there's gonna be that one guy that's like, oh, you're a fucking cyberbully. Stop bullying them because you're a cyberbully.
One thing in his video that bothers me a lot is how much he repeats over and over and over and over and over again that he's not cyberbullying after his really fucking terrible lukewarm takes.
You see, you make this as some sort of problem. There is a way around it. You want to know what it is? Skipping ahead of it by a little bit and moving on to the rest of the video. That's about it. Trying to deal with the same loopholes in part of the commentary video is really a waste of time for every single YouTuber to go by. And in this regard, loopholes like this, you should have thought real well that this was going to be a perfect waste of time because of how this is being put out. But instead, you're still talking about it either way. And there's a good chance you're going to go back to talking about it again in regards to loopholes. And that's on another topic within this video that you brought up. But then there's another regard, which is cyberbullying. Now, I really don't like condoning this at all, like most other things that seems bad enough inside of the platform. But Nomis, allow me to give you some textbook examples as to how cyberbullying actually works. Skipping ahead to basics, example number 1 would be voice chat inside of Call of Duty. At a certain margin inside of Call of Duty, no matter which one you're playing, there's a good chance that some kids, maybe even adults or teenagers that play those games, are going to take themselves straight towards cyberbullying one way or another. And one of the topics mainly they use is commit suicide. Another instance is trash talking to another player. That is in regards to the kills and deaths they gain and how experienced they are inside of the game overall. In this little video in regards to MG Girl, this doesn't even sound like cyberbullying at all. Again, harassing someone online, whether it's on voice chat or through messages that is inside a Discord or some video game or even through Steam, is cyberbullying. You saying that MG has boring content is not cyberbullying, so I don't know what made you think that up.
And it contrasts in a really weird way against his edgy serial killer personality he's trying to put on. Like, I can't imagine anyone seeing this guy as a cyberbully just because he's so put together and isn't even that mean. Like, trust me, I've had people straight up make a video just calling me slurs. Do you think I give a shit if some guy said, yeah, you kind of have a bit of a speech impediment? I'm not cyberbullying, I promise. Like, this is the—
Again, I don't like condoning bullying of any form. That includes cyberbullying. However, I am calling you out on some stupid bullshit that you brought up yourself once before, and you're doing so right now. At this rate, this is probably going to be turning out into another one of those dramas. Only thing is that Mushroom Girl's not going to be going up against Goat Cato this time. But this new drama between both Nomis and Mushroom Girl, if it does happen, is going to sound ridiculously retarded in multiple ways possible. And call this a random thought or not, but every single YouTube drama is like the younger sister of World War II.
You're bullying a fucking trans person? You're transphobic.
Literally nobody claims that criticizing trans people makes you transphobic. It's only transphobic when you're shitting on them for being trans.
I'd rather be transphobic amongst trans people for the dumbest shit they could possibly ever do within this world. And let's not forget whatever backlash they suffered from. Then again, there are some transgender people that are gonna come out of their way and say, oh, we haven't done anything wrong, we didn't get any backlash. Well, I got some clips to prove you wrong. Now, I'm not too certain if some of you, maybe even most of you remember, but remember the Bud Light advertisement? Well, it went through the news after some controversial shit that happened to it. What is the controversial shit? This is the controversial shit. This bitch right over here goes in the male's name of Dylan Mulvaney, who is currently going through multiple ways of being transgender by pretending he's a female, even though by scientific factual information that this moron forgot completely, is that he was born and always will be a male no matter if he decided he wants to be female. And no matter how much beliefs that transgender people will have in regards to saying that they made the choice themselves, I don't give a shit if science ain't giving a shit either. But besides that, do you know what happened after that advertisement came out to be public? Right-wingers who are pushing multiple ways of boycotting this type of marketing. And to be honest, I'm not going to be sorry when I say that this is one of the best controversial clips I've ever seen that is involving trans people. But besides that, you know now as to why I prefer being transphobic. Another way of me being transphobic is if I were given a flag of some transgender, some stupid bullshit like that. If I were told to be taking it home with me. Would I take it home with me and consider myself to be a trans person? No, I wouldn't. Instead, I would go take it to some private place and go set it on the floor and piss all over it. Because if anything, transgenderism is nothing but lies and deceits. And some stupid bullshit being said as well.
Trans people don't go and harass you because you fucking criticize somebody who happened to be trans. That's not how that works. You don't criticize me for being trans in this video, so why are you fucking worried about people coming at you for being quote-unquote transphobic? That's not how that works.
I'm not gonna criticize you because you're trans. That's not the whole entire point. My parts of criticism in regards to this video that you may see is gonna be in regards as to how you do these videos. I've been seeing them as of late and they've been really shitty. Even though that you said earlier inside of this video that you are quote-unquote mature, this kind of error in regards to responding to videos proves to me that you haven't matured enough yet. Because once after this video, there's going to be more and more videos that are in regards to you, and you're going to keep responding to them like a mindless drone every so often you get the chance to. And responding to each and every single video is not always necessary. And that's the one error you don't seem to get in regards to YouTube. And this is why nearly every single YouTuber that does commentary finds you as the laughingstock, because you always respond to these videos and you happen to be sensitive at the same time. Because it has been proven, and it can be proven again, that you are a very sensitive bitch. Because if I'm not mistaken, from the previous commentary videos you made before, they were in regards to sensitive society, so that makes me think that you are really sensitive about what he was saying in his videos. It goes to show that sensitive society's name is actually accurate to society today. Surely enough, pushing videos against sensitive society, you really aren't the first one, but you were very noticeable. Like 3 videos against sensitive society? Yeah. You're saying you're not sensitive,
Do me a favor and please just grab your dad's deagle, the Desert Eagle, that's right, the deagle, just put it against your head and click that delete all button.
Before we continue, I have a piece stating out that I do not condone violence in any form in regards to my videos. Although you may see it through gameplay videos, I do not condone it by saying it to another person to commit suicide or that I would go and kill them. That I will not condone. And this is being said, I don't condone it for myself, and I won't condone it from any other fans by any means necessary. I won't condone it from any of my friends either, and I sure as hell am not going to condone it from any of my family members either. And this will apply to every single video, even if it was uploaded previously. Even though if some people will say that it's a joke and that they're pretending, either way, I do not condone it by any means necessary.
Now I'm just gonna steal a clip from Scorpy, because when hasn't he done that to others? But anyway, I'm just gonna nab a clip from Scorpy, I'll leave a link to the description, but basically, he makes satire content just like me. It's where you exaggerate, make memes, and just absolutely take the piss. You're not being serious, you're just fucking with people to add to the entertainment.
If you aren't being serious, if your content is satire, why should I take this video seriously? It just shows you don't actually know what the term satire means, and I'll get more into that in a second.
Well, guess what? If people don't know what satire means, they can look it up. The video should be taken seriously, and only if it's in regards to criticism. As far as I'm concerned, from DeWeasel's a certain point of view, I don't know if you happen to have taken some pieces of criticism into consideration. And that is in regards to 2 videos that he made based on you and your actions alone.
And believe it or not, but this whole satire commentary thing actually works. People find it fucking hilarious. Like, I made a video on Minilad previously, and this girl who was basically manipulated by him she basically had like a fucking weak chin, and I got no issue with that, but I made the joke of, hey guys, codename No Chin over here got manipulated. It's obviously a fucking joke to make the drama less serious and add some comedy to it.
That's not satire. Being a big ol' meanie for a joke isn't satire. Real satire is when you mock a group of people or person by over-exaggeration to show how their points are flawed.
Nobody needs another fucking explanation. If people were to ask for an explanation as to how satire works, they would have asked for it. But that being aside the point, people can research what satire is overall. They don't need an explanation all the time. Another thing I need to note out is that whatever satire you try to make within any single video is all dog water. All within the shitty video editing you have overall. I don't fucking care if you did it before. Your quality of how you put it is very shitty. Makes me want to go Chef Gordon Ramsay on your fucking ass.
If this video was actual satire, what you'd be doing is making fun of my critics by pretending to be one. Haha, you're ugly and stupid isn't satire. It's humor, but it isn't satire. Satire and humor isn't the same thing. Satire is a kind of humor, but not all humor is satire. I've actually done real satire on my second channel before, making fun of text-to-speech call-out commentators.
Again, what matters is the quality of the satire within any and or every video you make, and again, the quality of you making satire within each and every single video based on your video editing is nothing but complete dog water. And within the same regard, the dog water video editing skills you have makes my fucking brain cells want to commit suicide based on how shitty you make these commentary videos nearly every single time. Also, it doesn't matter how much you try to put it, satire is satire either way. You really need to own up the fact that at one degree to another, your quote-unquote satire is purely horse shit. It's all horse shit to a point where I want to pour concrete into my ears, that way I don't have to hear another terrible joke or pun you come up with. And at the end, no matter how much you try to be funny, you are funny for number 1 being a liar, and number 2 being a manipulative little bitch that can't own up to her own mistakes.
But Mushroom Girl basically said Scorpy didn't know what satire is.
Because he didn't.
And you've yet to prove how he doesn't know what satire is.
She doesn't have any fucking point. She just explains the meaning of satire, which is everything he did in his video, and that's it.
And being a normal human being, I know I should not say this, but Mushroom Girl, you sound completely retarded as soon as you made the Scorpy is Here video. You have no factual information to back up your claim that he doesn't know what satire is. You've done nothing on that regard. All you did was just blatantly gone on and it says, oh, he doesn't know what it is. You see, this is why I fucking hate kids inside of YouTube, especially the ones that are inside of the transgender community. This is in regards to they don't really do very much research to find some factual information. And that's being said based on a YouTuber that they're gonna talk about inside of their videos. And in all honesty, this can't just be me, but this gets more dumber and dumber every single time Mushroom Girl makes a new video in regards to commentary. That's not only in regards to the gays and lesbians bullshit, but also some response videos too. Another thing to note out, nobody asked for an explanation!
I think the one who doesn't know what satire is you, Mushroom Girl, because you are thick in the head.
I think both you and Scorpy horribly misunderstood that definition.
And I think you need a new fucking brain, because the current brain you have is really shitty on processing whatever thoughts you have in your thick skull. But knowing surgery costs a lot of money, that's not really possible now, is it? Honestly, kids like these have potential, but they just waste it on some stupid shit like this every so often they have the chance. Makes me not want to rely on YouTube channels that are being run by kids in regards to commentary. Not only that regard, but also gaming channels as well. I'm just gonna be flat out honest. Society within YouTube is not only sensitive as of today, it's also stupid at the same time. And I never expect it to be better, because usually it gets worse one way or another.
And as I said, I know there's gonna be that one commentator, but last time I checked, she's got autism or some shit, so she might make a response to this video being like, oh, you're trying to bully autistic people?
The only time I've ever accused one of my critics of bullying an autistic person is when they bullied me for my autism.
No, because I've got autism, so if you use that excuse, I can just use the excuse that you're retarded.
Nobody is saying that you're bullying me nor that you're ableist. We get it, man.
I'm not bullying anyone. I genuinely don't care if someone has autism, they're trans, they're bisexual. I'm not transphobic or anything like that. I just see it like this. When you start using it as an excuse, that's when you become absolutely brain dead.
I don't use it as an excuse. If someone was bullying me for being autistic, I'm gonna tell them they're being ableist.
Allow me to say this, I have autism, but at a highly active rate too. But comparing Mushroom Girl to myself, at least I would get the message that NomisYalf is not going to promote to any of that. The only person who wouldn't get the idea is the person who's going to be explaining about it. Also, Mushroom Girl, not very much people would say, nearly nobody would say that you use autism as an excuse. Actually, that applies for every single other YouTuber, not just yourself. In fact, I think the only time I've heard some people do that is when they're trying to meme around. But if it's something to meme around, then much like that, and talking about the whole entire ableist thing at the same time, it's not really something you need to be triggered about. But in general honesty, you responding to this part makes me believe that you are actually triggered about this part.
Now I would just like to point out that despite she makes our commentary videos, every time that she herself gets into drama, she basically just manipulates her audience into thinking that she's the great guy and everyone else is the bad guy.
Yes! Finally! Thank you, Nomis! We finally get to the part that I want to talk about the most.
You mean I say I'm in the right in my own commentary video? You know, that thing that most commentary videos do? Why would I voice my opinions if I didn't think I was in the right?
The only way you could say that you're somewhat right is if you bring in factual information or even opinions. Of course, you may not be right, but you are right in your own personal opinion. Manipulation is more of something that makes you somewhat of a good guy, but then the other person you're talking about, the bad guy. And you, little lady, are not innocent because you've done manipulation before. Here's one perfect good example in regards to manipulation that I found.
I should report this for misinformation, because it's misinformation. How does one report a video
See? You see this? You see this clip right here? Now, as you wonder where I got this clip from, I got it from one of Dweezil's older videos in regards to you, Mushroom Girl. This right here, you may not want to admit it, is actually a perfect clip on you performing manipulation. And the reason as to how is in regards to the fact that you just simply said, oh, I'm just gonna report this video. And you didn't take the time to tell anyone and say, oh, don't report this video, I'm just doing it on my own behalf. I'm not gonna condone you guys doing it. But instead of doing that, you reported the video and you simply let it be, and everyone else gone on to do the exact same thing. The people that has been watching your videos to go and report Corvus's video. Much like how Pokimane did that kind of manipulation once before, you're doing the exact same thing, or you did the exact same thing before you changed your methods of YouTube. The second method of manipulation that you are trying to go through, as of recent, playing the victim. And here's a clip of that.
If someone's not bullying me for being autistic, I won't do that. How hard is that to grasp? You literally just made up a scenario, responded to that scenario, and then blamed me for it. What?
Alright, I will concur with Mushroom Girl on this one certain point, the very beginning, and that's the fact that Mushroom Girl talking about ableist shit is nothing more but a short-fused lie. The reason why I say that is because Sav made this comment on one of Nomis's videos, and this is in regards to the very first video that he made in regards to you, Mushroom Girl, saying that she was called an ableist when she agreed with Kumo throwing out some criticisms to you, and that she agrees with them at the same time. And meanwhile, also saying at the same time that you and Temporal Times commentaries made a response video nitpicking Sav's speech impediment and throwing a hissy fit at the same time. And I do have to agree with what Sav says. You do not know the definition of agreeing with someone's opinions and not actions. Or said in my point of view, you are a dense motherfucker. This is a video inside of Sav's channel based on the title name Mushroom Girl Commentary. Not really drama, but a mishap. And it lasted at least 28 minutes long. But then inside of the video, noticing how she said she wasn't going to talk about the drama on the title, but in the footage she would talk about it. And this is being said, I don't think it was recent ones, I think it was the previous one. And this just sounds about right for her to do because you're so fucking stupid that you keep getting yourself into drama and you can never get yourself out of it. But then, sometime later or not, you and Temporal Times commentaries have a video titled A Very Drama-Free Commentary. To which I have to say in regards to the commentary video in question, since you made it an hour-long video, and this is the only thing I'm gonna do based on you and Temporal Times having a hissy fit and nitpicking. No matter how much you try to do this, one way or another in regards to your commentary content, even if you try to make it drama-free, it wasn't and it was not and it will never be drama-free, based on how you respond in regards to the commentary. At this rate, Mushroom Girl is like one of those hotheads from the Mean Girls or some other shit like that, some other movie with hothead women. Anyways, about this clip, let's go ahead and roll it back again by, what, nearly the end of it?
Responded to that scenario and then blamed me for it. What?
Okay, seriously, you're gonna bring up a scenario, but then you're gonna say that he blamed you for it? Yeah, nice try. Nice playing victim right there, bitch. This is manipulation example number 2. But if I had to guess which example of manipulations you're trying to perform at best, the best guess I have is that you're playing manipulation number 2. Playing the victim when you clearly are not the fucking victim. Now, for the people who are gonna try to say about the manipulation parts, I'm just gonna say in my regard that this is all I could find on my certain point of view. If you guys happen to find more information as to what other manipulation forms that this girl has done, then feel free to let me know in the comment section below. But continuing on this part, how many times have you played victim? Like, be generous with me. How many times have you played victim on your previous video? Because playing the victim one way or another is to prove that you've done nothing wrong. But in my eyes, you can't change the fact that you did shit wrong before, and you're still doing shit wrong today. So much for saying that you actually are mature, because you're still doing this stupid shit. This all sounds like irony to me, considering the fact that it sounds like Mushroom Girl has actually learned from her previous mistakes. Yeah, no, she didn't.
Fun fact, everyone, he barely, and I'm being generous when I say barely, actually watches my videos. He begins to watch one of my videos, has a little drama queen moment because my very slight lisp is just too much for this little baby to handle, and then he moves on without actually watching the video.
Maybe you haven't taken into consideration that Nomis actually did watch through your whole entire video, but that he's not gonna do it again because it's a waste of his own time to do so. You just only watched the video for like 10 seconds. You didn't get enough information to prove your point. You see, this is why my points inside of this video is proven much more better than yours are. I mean, I could take the time and watch your whole entire video and clip it, and then I can prove your points wrong. And by that I mean every single point you made. The problem is that you're trying to do that so desperately is at least another way to prove that you want to always be right. For you, you may think that's something to be accomplishing of, but inside of my eyes, I see that you come in making one of these videos and you look like a complete idiot. Actually, it's not just that, you also sound like an idiot.
So, final thoughts? This video contains an insane amount of projecting.
And you think you haven't done any projecting before? Yeah, no, you're not getting away from the projecting part. Here's a few clips that I have in regards to you projecting.
The first red flag is this dude's name, Sensitive Society. Like, dude, that sounds like some white boy holding like a huge fish in his Facebook profile. And but no, you just want to be edgy and offensive. Yeah, he apparently made fun of me on a live stream and also got his followers to harass me. I love it. In my comment section are saying, "Oh, he was just criticizing you." When if he was criticizing me, which I'm fine with criticism. If he was criticizing me, why would he make the live stream members only? Seems kind of suspicious. Maybe that he was literally trying to harass me and didn't want me to know that he was sending out his followers to be a dick to me. It's the fact that it is so obvious he wants to be an edgy Tumblr sexy man. I wonder how many slurs is in his creepypasta catchphrase. It doesn't help that he calls himself a serial killer. Like, come on, how edgy can you be? Wow, man. I thought you were supposed to do the honors. Isn't that the point of being a serial killer? I didn't know we had a poser in the serial killer community on our hands. Sensitive Society.
How was I ever a fan of this guy? Like, he literally gave me a shout out in one of his older videos.
You used to be a fan. I used to be a dedicated hater. Actually, scrap that. I still am. No, Creeper, you don't understand. The idea of her having a neurodivergency and talking about it online must mean she's trying to be quirky. Me neither. But luckily, our pal Sensitive Society is here to diagnose us. Yeah, I forgot. Commentary is filled with nothing but angry children throwing mean words at each other. Wait, I think I just described my own content. Fuck. What's that? Sensitive Society did like no research on symptoms of common neurodivergencies like OCD, autism, and ADHD. Shocking. Yeah, he's really trying to pretend that he'd never bully anyone or that he's not a bigot. Then he makes videos shitting on gay people, fat people, neurodivergent people, and mentally ill people. Trans people, Thelians, age regressors, and the list goes on. This is why Holistic should be banned from public spaces, guys.
And that's one way to end the choir and progress through all the projections you have done at the same time, Mushroom Girl. But anyways, with that being said, let's not waste any time and wrap this up.
Like his claims that I'm manipulating my audience, followed by, "I'm not a bullier, I promise, guys, please don't call me a bullier," over and over and over and over and over again. Despite the video supposedly being to give me criticism, he spends most of the video either complaining vaguely about my content or complaining about my speech impediment. The only legitimate criticism in that entire 9-minute video was the "cut up your voice" clips thing I've heard over and over and over again. He acts like this video is groundbreaking, and it really isn't.
So allow me to finish off this video in my certain point of view. Number 1. You have been manipulating people by playing the victim. You used to do that by doing the report button based on DeWeasel's old video on Corvus making video on you. But besides that, you have been manipulating people by playing the victim. There might be some slight off chance that you might actually go say a secret when you would say later on, it's the truth, when later on it was just a complete lie. That's another way to manipulate people. And this is not only done being voiced secretly, aka whispering of course, but also being said out loud in regards to talking from one person to another, whether it's inside of a YouTube video, or even Discord, or even Skype. And let's not forget about the comment section. That's another place where you could form up your manipulation as far as I'm concerned. But asides all of that, you've done manipulation, and you tried it as of recent inside of this video. So yeah, I'm not even surprised that both me and Nomis caught you red-handed with this type of bullshit. But asides the red-handed part, let's go through a few criticisms. Video editing is what we're gonna focus on mainly. Well, it's the first part we're gonna focus on. Number 1, slicing up your voice clips. I don't think you happen to notice, Mushroom Girl, is that if you end up slicing some of the audio clips, it'll make your videos sound a lot more better than what they are right now. Because this is me with an unedited voice clip, and I'm just thinking that you haven't yet to get the idea that whatever you're thinking in regards to the video sounding all like this is really something that, I don't know, doesn't really look good for the video. But if you actually take the time to slice up some audio clips, you may sound a lot more better in some of your videos, maybe even most of them. What you need to do is cut off the parts that are silent, you saying or even parts that are pretty much rambling and don't pertain to the video itself. Or I should say subject in mind, but whatever. And critique number 2, you don't really need to do it like right away. You can take the time to think about it, and you don't have to do like major changes. You could do minor ones, but you really do need to change your content up one way or another. Critique into the real world. Again, I stated this before in the very beginning of the video since you brought it up, and it will help you one way or another if you could just consider, please go to fucking therapy. I get that it's not gonna be instantly done, but you could take the time you need going to therapy and just try to do as much as you possibly can to reduce your speech impediment. Another part I have to say, quit your manipulation. Quit playing victim. Quit fucking lying. Need I remind you that doing this type of shit doesn't even help you to begin with. It instead draws in more heat towards you to becoming even more and more hated. Another thing, responding to every single video in regards to you is not necessary. You need to quit that shit. You can reduce it to a minimum, maybe a moderate, but you really do need to quit doing that type of shit all the time. And this is being said, if it's a video about you and it's full of shit, there's no need to respond to it. The same applies for a video if it has shitty points in your certain perspective or some loopholes. But aside the criticisms, the only final words I have to say, you are very flawed in multiple ways possible, and you don't even understand that. But anyways, thank you guys for watching the video. Hopefully you do enjoy it. Feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe. But something I need to point out before I do finish this up, please don't attack her. 1, I'm not going to condone it, and 2, it's a waste of time and effort to do so. But anyways, feel free to leave a like, a comment, and subscribe if you wish. And as always, I shall see you in the next episode. Peace.